So I came across a TikTok video yesterday that has already racked up 5 million views. At least at the time when I saw it, it was at 5 million views. And it's very rare for something on TikTok to stop me from scrolling. You have to be a really powerful video or really funny, very engaging, something in order to stop me from scrolling. This one shocked me. Before I get into what this video is about, I want to give a trigger warning because I know a lot of you need your little trigger warning because this video is going to be discussing domestic violence. So if conversations about domestic violence or images, because you will be seeing some footage that's not the DV in action, but you will see the result of it. You will see the result of it. So if that's something that triggers you, I would highly suggest that you not watch this video, or you can just pause it or stop it and come back later on when you're in a better frame of mind. Because I don't want any of you to get, I know a lot of people out there are survivors, and so I don't want you to feel any type of way watching this video. But this one stopped me dead in my tracks, and it's of a woman with a very bruised face. And as someone who has been around domestic violence a good chunk of my life, it's never personally happened to me, thank God. I know the signs. And then it's not so hard to see the signs when it's all over somebody's face. So, by the way, my name is Rogan. This is the Bahamian Gyal podcast. On my platform, I do social commentary and reaction videos. I encourage my audience to have private conversations in public. If you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, please, I would encourage you to watch the video on YouTube. So let's just go right into the clips.
I don't keep secrets for abusers. Isaac and Moore, brand by Isaac Moore of Houston, Texas, assaulted me yesterday. He brutally assaulted me yesterday. He was my boyfriend for the past year, and he beats women.
So that was the video that went viral. And this woman is alleging that a Houston bag designer, I believe he is, or some sort of designer by the name of Isaac Moore, beat her. And she says she's been dating him for a year. This man is not a huge designer, but he has made a name of himself because he gifts his designs to celebrities. I remember Trick Daddy opening up one of his gifts. And so he will send them to a lot of celebrities. And of course, celebrities loving free things, like most of us, would post it on their social media platforms. And that's how they got or he got a lot of recognition. Also, let me say that these are allegations. She has put his name out there as Isaac Moore, but these are allegations until he is charged and convicted. They are allegations. I know a lot of you will come into the comment section and say, oh, why are you saying alleged? And let me tell you something. I hardly get some of y'all to buy me a coffee. You think y'all going to be chipping in from my defamation fund for defaming someone? So I have to be careful here. That is the proper thing to do. I know a lot of YouTubers don't care about that sort of stuff, and then they end up having to settle, or they end up having to be doing retractions and that sort of thing. These are allegations. Clearly something has happened to this woman. Clearly. But for my platform's sake, I have to keep it to alleged. Okay, so let's listen because she filmed in several parts, and I want you to hear it.
It is 6 o'clock in the morning, and I opened my TikTok. I was not intending to be a viral moment, honestly. I just was posting my videos, being consistent with my own personal goals and being defiant in achieving my own personal goals. Telling myself I'm not going to let a man stop me or get me off my note or get me down, because that has been my experience. A man bring me down when I'm riding a high frequency. So for y'all to pour out so much encouragement and support me, strangers are supporting me and defending me and believing me, I'm so thankful. I thank you. I'm so thankful.
When I saw this woman her name is Sarah, she's a content creator on the platform. My heart broke for her because, like I said, I was surrounded by a lot of domestic violence for a huge chunk of my life. And so I certainly, I know those images very well. I don't like seeing this. I'm just looking at the video. I'm sorry if you see me looking down. Like, I really don't like looking at her like this, because this is someone's daughter. This is someone's potentially their sister. I don't know if she has kids. She could be someone's mother, but who cares? She's a human being. One of the things she said was, "Thank you so much for believing me." And that's something that really got in my ear. Like, that resonated with me, because a lot of domestic violence survivors will say people don't believe them, especially when you're dealing with someone who, this guy isn't famous, but he's known. But when you're dealing with someone famous or somebody who's popular, it doesn't have to be famous. Can be someone who's in the church, can be someone who the family just regards highly. People will be quick to make accusations like, "What did you do to provoke it?" Or "Did he really do that?" Or nobody really, I shouldn't say nobody, but there are a lot of people who will not take it seriously. They will just kind of like dismiss the person or not believe them. That happens quite a bit. And I can guarantee you, again, these are allegations, but I can guarantee you that if he did in fact do this, that there were indeed red flags. And a lot of times women ignore these red flags. They ignore them because they love so much. It could come in it comes in many forms. It could come in the form of gaslighting or emotional abuse, or someone screaming at you constantly. Like, all these things that we overlook all the time, they're abusive, and you have to call them what they are. Sometimes people don't want to say it's abuse. They want to say, "Oh, they just have a temper. Oh, they just fly off the handle," or they this, that, and the next. It is abuse. And you have to use that verbiage so it gets like embedded in your mind about what it is. And one of the things that I have been noticing from a lot of women online, and I was actually proud of this lady, Sarah, is that there seems to be a moving away from this mentality that what happens in this house stays in this house. And we're seeing that in terms of domestic violence. We're seeing that in terms of incest. We're seeing that in terms of a lot of different things. Like, people are now speaking out a great deal. I would also say that it's therapeutic for a lot of these folks. I don't look at it as them just trying to put someone on blast. I think that happens, but I think a lot of people are just like, "This happened to me. I'm a victim. Why should I keep quiet? Why should I keep your secret when you did this to me?" If it were any stranger on the street who assaulted us, we would be quick to say that person did it. So why is it that we're so quiet when it's someone who we love or someone we've been involved with? At the end of the day, it's still abuse. And I also want to say to these women, like, you don't have to tolerate this garbage juice. You don't have to deal with these guys who don't know how to value you or respect you or love you or treat you right. Like, if he's acting out of pocket and he just doesn't seem to want to change, like, there are so many excellent men out there. And that's not a message that a lot of women preach online, that there are excellent men out there who have high standards, who would never dream about putting their hands on a woman, a man who would protect a woman and defend a woman. Not all men are bad. And that's why I never fall into this whole category of all men are dogs, or they, what. Like, no, you have excellent men out there, and you have to go and find them. Because I can guarantee you a lot of excellent men out there are saying, "Man, some of these women are just trash. We're the good women." So you don't have to settle for that. And this woman, she exposed everything. One of the things that she mentioned, and I'm going to play it next, is where she talked about her experience after she reported it to police, because there are people who are coming into the comment section saying, "Why are you online talking about this stuff? Why aren't you going to the police and reporting it?" And she was like, "Well, I did that." So let's take a listen, and then I'm going to give my take on this.
So I see a lot of people commenting, "Why am I posting these videos about this? Why didn't I go to the police?" And I went to the police immediately. I do not play. I called the police on the spot, and I waited for them to get there, and I pushed and let them know I want to press charges. The Manville Police Department took a report and let me know that they would have to send that report to whomever to finalize the charges. I followed up with the officer the day after the incident, the day I posted the video, to see what's up with my case. He let me know that it would not be immediate. It would be something that would happen in a few weeks, or even months. So I'm not playing. I'm seeing this case all the way through. I want to get legal representation and find a good lawyer. I will say that I didn't like how the police handled me either. They were being jovial and smiling with Isaac while I was traumatized. So I want to complain about that too.
See, first things first, let me give this woman, I mean, I have to clap for her. I have to clap for her. She was in a relationship with this man for a year. And she immediately went to the police and filed a report, right? A lot of women will have this happen to them, and then the love bug kicks in, and they're like, oh, I don't want anything bad to happen to him after he's done something bad to you or to them. Right? They immediately go into protective mode. Oh, I don't want to make his life more complicated or more miserable, even though he did this to them. So kudos to her for immediately going to the police, and filing the report. And I would certainly encourage women to do the same thing. Like, if to me, I'm so sorry. I know that there are exceptions to every rule, but if he hits you once, he will hit you again. I have rarely heard of any incident where a man beat a woman viciously and then was like, I will never do that again. It always manifests in some way. Always. Again, there are exceptions to the rule. So I'm sure some of y'all are gonna be like, oh, I did do this one time and it didn't happen again. Okay, cool. But you are an anomaly. You're an outlier. You're totally removed from the vast majority of people, honestly. And I honestly believe if he does it once, he'll do it again. So don't give people an opportunity to do that. You're too precious for that. Her comments about the police, that's something I've heard on social media over the years. I don't like that aspect of it. Like, I get so brainwashed, I suppose, from watching like Law and Order, SVU, and seeing police officers who are so caring and thoughtful, and you just kind of hope and pray that all cops are like that. And I'm sure there are police officers who are like that. So I don't want to paint everybody with the same brush. But in an instance like that, where someone is abused and they're presenting to you in the way that she looks, like, why do you think it would be cool to even be jovial or smiling? Like, it's a serious matter. And it sucks that it's going to take weeks or even months for anything to really happen. But I hope she holds true and she does press charges against this individual if he did in fact do this. I hope that she does see it through, because I think if more abusers were held to account, then we would really, it would cause them to stop in their tracks before they do something. It won't get everybody, but a good chunk of people will be like, oh yeah, these women ain't playing. Like, don't play around with your life. Because thank God she's alive enough to open up a camera and talk. Thank God she's alive in order to go to the police. Thank God she's alive to share her story, which is going to help so many other women who probably this has happened to many times before. And so they are probably like, oh, I wouldn't want to do this. You never know. People might be like just needing that one person to step forward to say, I'm going to see it through. Let me get because she was exposing him like big time. So hold on one second. Where's my phone? So she was exposing him for everything, and she has numerous posts about him. I played 3. I'm not going to go any further than that, but she did have up like a carousel where she's explaining, and the caption, well, not the caption, the overlay on one of the photo says, Isaac Moore is a liar. It says, I was in a 12-month relationship with this monster, resulting in him body slamming her, and trying to punch me in the face. There are more women. If that is in fact the case, and like I told you, it's never really an isolated case. If you feel that emboldened to do that to a woman, trust that ain't your first time. But she claims that there are more women. She says, I'm not the only one. She tagged him in her comments. And then she has another overlay that says Isaac Moore beats women. These are all allegations. She has a photo here that looks like him taking his hand and mushing her face, or grabbing her face. She has the cornrows in. Let me know what you think about this story. There's going to be a phone number on the screen and in the description box for those of you who are experiencing domestic violence. And I know it doesn't just happen with women, it happens with men as well. And we really need to get to the point, and maybe this warrants a separate video, into stigmatizing the men who get abused as well, because that happens a lot. And in society, a lot of times people laugh at men when they're abused. So that probably warrants a separate video that will have that discussion. But let me know what you think about this. For those of you who have been in situations where you were abused by your husbands, your boyfriends, How long did it take for you to leave? What was the breaking point for you? Seriously, what was the breaking point? Because I think for the ones who do walk away, or run away, there's always something. There's always a breaking point. So if you feel comfortable, please share that with us down below. I'm going to ask folks to be very respectful in the comment section. I always say that I'm very fortunate that a good chunk of the people who come to my platform are respectful. You guys are so well-mannered. Of course, you get your crazy folks every now and then who just don't know how to comport themselves. But on a subject matter like this, I really need you to be respectful, because sometimes people don't comment. Sometimes they just lurk. And they're hoping to see their question asked, or they're hoping to hear their question answered. And so I really am going to ask you all to be respectful in the comment section, because you just never know who is going through what, and they are experiencing probably the worst part of their life right now, and they want some sort of comfort, and sometimes it comes in the comment section. So please, I don't want to tell you what to say, but I'm just going to ask you to be very respectful, be very civil in the comment section, because I don't want anybody's feelings to get hurt, especially when we're dealing with such a delicate situation. I hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from. I plan to have an episode every single day this week, just because I know for the past 2 weeks I've kind of been kind of sporadic. I've been super duper busy, and so life happens and that takes priority. And so this week I'm going to give you 5 videos Monday through Friday. So be sure to tune in for that. But I love you guys. Please stay safe. Don't forget, I'll put the number on the screen for those of you who need help. Share your stories down below in the comment section. Please follow me on Instagram at This Bahamian Gyal, on my blog at thisbahamiangyal.com. If you like this channel, you get value from this channel, you appreciate the host, please give this video a thumbs up. Please give it a thumbs up. If I could get 10,000 likes on this video, it'd help push my video out to in the feed, because sometimes the numbers drop, because if you're not engaging with it, if you're not leaving comments, if you're not liking it, YouTube will be like, maybe they don't really like it that much, and you might be like, oh, this was the greatest video, but who's gonna know that? You have to hit that like button. It's so easy. Drop your comments, and of course, support this channel by becoming a channel member, or buy me a coffee. It'll be on the screen and also in the description box. And what was I going to say? Sign up for my newsletter as well. All the details, again, everything is in the description box, or you can buy merch from my merch store. But I love you guys. Stay safe. Please tell me what you think about this whole story. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye. Toodles.